Shalom, shalom, Shabbat shalom. All right, first and foremost, we want to give all praises to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakal Kodash. That is the name of the Heavenly Father, coming in the name of the only begotten Son, coming in the name of the Holy Spirit, which are these Holy Scriptures, all right? We are nations of kings and priests. My name is Brother Abal Gabar, and by my side,
Brother Daniela.
Brother Daniela. All right, and we are going to do a lesson through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, a little bit on the tribe of Aparyum, the tribe of Ephraim, the so-called Puerto Ricans, all right, who are indeed Israelites, all right? They were the head of the northern kingdom, and they are actually the ones who led the northern kingdom over here to the Americas, all right? So before the Puerto Ricans were called Puerto Ricans, they called themselves Taino. And before they were called Taino, they were actually called Aparyum, which is a tribe of Israel, all right? One of the top tribes of Israel, all right, of the northern kingdom. All right, first scripture we're going to get is 2 Ezra chapter 13 and verse 40 through 45, because the so-called Latinos did go into slavery on slave ships, all right? They do fit the same curses as the southern kingdom, all right, of going into slavery on the slave ships. All right, go ahead.
This is the book of 2 Ezra chapter 13 verse 40. Those are the 10 tribes.
Those are the what?
The 10 tribes.
Right, go ahead.
Which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king.
That's right.
Whom Salmanessar, the king of Assyria, led away captive, and he carried them over the waters.
And he what?
Carried them over the waters.
And he carried them over the waters, all right? So this is the northern kingdom carry over water. Go ahead.
And so came they into another land.
Came into another land. Go ahead.
But they took this counsel among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen.
Right, go ahead.
And go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt.
Where what?
Where never mankind dwelt.
Where never mankind dwelt. So they did not travel to the other side of Africa, all right? And they were on boat, as we just read, carried them over water. How else are you going to carry someone over water? By boat. Go ahead.
Verse 42, that they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land.
That's right. Go ahead.
And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river.
Right. So the northern kingdom, all right, was getting slayed and destroyed within Assyrian captivity. So they took it in their own hands to leave, all right, to start following the law, statutes, and commandments, all right? So they went into a further land that never mankind dwelt. Go ahead.
For the Most High then showed signs for them.
So Issachar was very good at telling signs in the stars and the heavens, all right? So those were signs on how we made it over here. Go ahead.
And held still the flood.
Held still what?
The flood.
The flood, all right? That represents the ocean, all right? The Most High stood the ocean. That's how they made it over here. Let's see how long it took them. Go ahead.
Till they were passed over.
Till they were passed over. Go ahead.
For though that country there was a great way to go.
Great way to go. All right, go ahead.
Namely, of a year and a half.
Of a what?
Of a year and a half.
Of a year and a half. All right, so the so-called Latino tribes, Hispanic people from Taino descent, before you guys were in America, Gad, Native Americans, you were actually in Israel getting held captive in Assyrian captivity. All right, so you fled, right, Assyrian captivity, and then made your way over to America. All right, go ahead.
And now when they shall, sorry, we were verse 45?
Yeah, go ahead, 45 again.
For through that country there was a great way to go.
Right.
Namely, of a year and a half.
Right.
And the same region is called
Arsareth.
Arsareth.
Right. So that region that they went to is called Arsareth. When you go into the etymology of Arsareth, it means new world, or the new world. All right. So in 1492, when Christopher Columbus came and conquered us, right, murdered over 170 million Tainos, right, they called this land the new land, all right, or the new world, all right. which he wasn't the discoverer. The Israelites, the so-called Latino tribes, were the discoverer of America. All right, this was our land before it got conquered. And it said a year and a half. All right, so it didn't take them a year and a half to travel to the other side of Africa. It took them a year and a half to go over the ocean to find this land that we call now the Americas. All right. All right, let's go into some of these curses that fit the Israelites and the Israelites only. All right, we're going to go to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 68. All right, because we know that Israel, Jacob's name was changed to Israel, and Israel had 12 sons. All right, and one of those sons was Joseph. All right, Joseph had two sons. All right, Ephraim and Manasseh. Ephraim was put over Manasseh. All right, Ephraim, they were both blessed, but Ephraim was put over Manasseh, and we're going to grab that as well. But right now, let's grab these curses. Go ahead and read that.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Into Egypt again. Now we know that Egypt is synonymous for bondage. All right. In Exodus chapter 20, verse 2, you can get that on your own time and check that out. But Egypt is synonymous for bondage. Go ahead.
Again with ships.
With what?
With ships.
With ships. We just read that the Israelites were carried on ships over here to America. And not only that, when we were here, right, Christopher Columbus came here, right, and sold us to Spain on ships. All right, go ahead.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
Right, talking about our homeland, Israel. Go ahead.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
Unto your who?
Unto your enemies.
Unto our enemies. The scriptures, the Holy Bible, calls the damn white man our enemies. All right, for all the rape, rob, and murder they have done to our people. All right, go ahead.
For bondmen and bondwomen.
Right.
And no man shall buy you.
And no man shall buy you, meaning no man shall save you, all right, from your captivity. All right. We were raped, robbed, and murdered. They fed our children to alligators, right? They did a whole bunch of horrible things to our people when we came over here to leave the multitude of the heathen. When they actually ended up coming over here, calling it the New World, saying they discovered America, when in reality, the Northern Kingdom was the first people on this side of the earth, all right? And Northern Kingdom was the first one to go into slavery on slave ships, all right? 1492 is when the Northern Kingdom went into slavery. 1619 is when the Southern Kingdom went into slavery. The Northern Kingdom was the first one to go into slavery on slave ships, all right? Go ahead and get verse 48.
Verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies.
Shall they serve thy what?
Enemies.
Thy enemies, right? That's what we do to this day. We are serving our enemies, Southern Kingdom and Northern Kingdom, right? After we got off those slave ships, both sides of the kingdom, we were sold to our enemies, and now we are serving our enemies. Go ahead.
Which the Lord shall send against thee.
Right.
In hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness.
Right.
And in want of all things.
Right.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
Right. Both kingdoms, we both had yokes of iron upon our neck. We were both getting hanged from trees, right? That's what they used. They did that in when Christopher Columbus had came over here. They would literally hang us by 12, representing the 12 patriarchs, the Northern Kingdom, right? And they would feed us to the alligators, destroy us. This is what they would do. They would literally murder us, right? Give our dead bodies, dead carcasses to pigs, and then have us eat those same pigs that just ate our ancestors. That's how sick the damn white man is. To this day. They might not be able to legally do it now, but I guarantee you they damn well want to. All right? Let's go. Let me get verse 37 real quick.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment.
An astonishment, right? Everywhere we go, we're in astonishment. All right, go ahead.
A proverb.
A proverb, go ahead.
And a byword.
A byword. Puerto Rican, Mexican, Cuban, Argentinian, those are all bywords that were given to us by our oppressor. Like I said, before you were Puerto Rican, you called yourself Taino. But before you were even Taino, you called yourself Aparium, right? Which is the Hebrew word for the tribe of Ephraim. And Aparium means fruitful. We are a very fruitful people, all right? We multiply a lot. If you look at all so-called Puerto Rican families, they are usually gigantic, all right? Because we are very fruitful, all right? Go ahead.
Among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee.
Right, among all nations. No matter where you go, you're still going to be a spick, right? No matter where you go, you're still going to be a nigga, right? Because we are cursed as a people. Our people did not want to hearken to the law, statutes, and commandments, and we ended up getting cursed by the Most High because we did not listen. And we just read in 2nd Ezra that we fled Assyrian captivity to try our best to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. But guess what? The damn devil followed us, right? Not to mention, we probably weren't keeping the law, statutes, and commandments over here. We probably were for a majority of time, but then after a while, after time goes, we stopped keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, right? Started serving other gods, right? There's a broken record with Israel. To this day, we are still trying to come out of these curses by coming back to the law, statutes, and commandments. All right. Now we're going to get into how Boricua and Borikin, right, actually derived from a Hebrew word. All right. That is derived from a Hebrew word. All right. So Puerto Rico just stands for rich port. All right. We're going to get a little bit into that as well. Let's go to Genesis chapter 49 and verse 22. All right, we are a very fruitful nation. Joseph, his blessing was that he would be very fruitful. All right. Go ahead.
49 and 2.
22.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 49, verse 22. Joseph is a fruitful bow.
Right. So when it says Joseph in the scriptures, most of the time it's talking about the tribe of Ephraim. All right. Now, we know that Joseph had two sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, but Ephraim got the blessing, the higher blessing, all right, to be above the tribe of Manasseh. All right, go ahead. And we're going to prove that as well. Go ahead.
Even a fruitful bow by a well, whose branches run over the wall.
Right, if you have a well and the branches are running over, that's how fruitful Ephraim is, all right? It's not trapped into that well. We go outside of that well because our families are huge. That's our blessing, was to be fruitful. Not to mention, in Puerto Rico, we have an Amazon, right, with a whole bunch of tropical fruit that is grown in Puerto Rico. All right. Let's get Numbers 1 and 32 just to prove that Joseph, a majority of the time, is talking about the tribe of Ephraim. All right. We're going to get also into the book of Revelation to show you that the 12 tribes, 144,000, was the 12,000 from the tribe of Joseph, which represents Ephraim, and 12,000 from the tribe of Manasseh, right, which represents the so-called Cubans.
Ready?
Salak, 1 second. All right, go ahead.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 1, verse 32. Of the children of Joseph.
Of the children of Joseph, right?
Namely, of the children of Ephraim.
Namely, of the children of Ephraim. All right, so when you hear Joseph, a majority of the time it's talking about Ephraim. All right. Let's get Revelation 7 and 3 through 8. Let's get to the 12,000 real quick from each tribe and see that Joseph, or Ephraim, is labeled as Joseph in the book of Revelation. Go ahead.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 7, verse 3, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of Yahweh in their foreheads.
Right.
And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel.
That's right.
Of the tribe of Judah were sealed 12,000.
Right. All praises.
Of the tribe of Reuben were sealed 12,000.
All praises. Go ahead.
Of the tribe of Gad were sealed 12,000.
Khan, all praises.
Of the tribe of Asher were sealed 12,000.
Khan, all praises.
Of the tribe of Naphtali were sealed 12,000.
Khan, all praises.
Of the tribe of Manasseh were sealed 12,000.
So Manasseh is a child of Joseph, right? So that's a separate tribe, right? In the 12 tribes. Go ahead.
Of the tribe of Simeon were sealed 12,000.
Khan, all praises.
Of the tribe of Levi were sealed 12,000.
That's right, all praises.
Of the tribe of Issachar were sealed 12,000.
Khan, all praises.
Of the tribe of Zebulun were sealed 12,000.
Right, all praises.
Of the tribe of Joseph.
Of the tribe of who?
Joseph.
Of the tribe of Joseph, which represents the tribe of Ephraim. All right, you so-called Puerto Ricans, right? You're not Puerto Rican. You're not a rich port, right? You are a Hebrew Israelite from the tribe of Ephraim. All right, and 12,000 of you will earn eternal life on this side if you repent and come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments. All right, go ahead.
Of the tribe of Joseph were sealed 12,000.
Right.
Of the tribe of Benjamin were sealed 12,000.
Khan, all praises. So that was to show you guys that when you hear Joseph, it represents Ephraim a majority of the time, because Ephraim got the blessing over Manasseh. They were both blessed, but Ephraim was set above Manasseh. Okay. Let me get the book of Genesis, chapter 49, and go back to verse 22.
That's the book of Genesis, chapter 49, verse 22. Joseph is a fruitful bulb.
Right.
Even a fruitful bulb by a well, whose branches run over the wall.
Right. Go ahead.
The archers have sorely grieved him and shot at him.
And done what?
And shot at him.
The archers have sorely grieved him and shot at him. Go ahead.
And hated him.
And hated him. That's talking about the Edomites when they came over here and destroyed us. All right. Killed us. Raped, robbed, and murdered us. Right. Go ahead.
But his bow abode in strength.
Right.
And the arms of his hands were made strong by the hands of the mighty God of Jacob.
Khan.
From thence is the shepherd, the stone of Israel.
Khan. So that is talking about when the Edomites came over here and destroyed us. If it wasn't for Yahweh Shem Yahushai, the northern kingdom was going to be done away with. All right. But through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, we stand to this day. All right. Because we are very passionate about Yahweh Shem Yahushai. We're coming back to our true nationality, to who we are. All right.
What's the scripture again?
That was Revelation Genesis 49, 22 through 23. Let's get Genesis chapter 48
through 24, fam.
Through 24?
Yeah.
Oh, Khan Salat. Let's get Genesis chapter 48 and verse 13 through 20. We're gonna prove through the scriptures that Israel, or Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel, right, put Ephraim over the tribe of Manasseh. All right, go ahead.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 48, verse 13. And Joseph took them both, Ephraim in his right hand toward Israel's left hand,
Khan,
and Manasseh in his left hand toward Israel's right hand, and brought them near unto him.
Khan. So we had Joseph took his two children to Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel, to get their blessing. All right. He had Manasseh in the right hand, right? And the right hand is who gets the more of a blessing, right? Who is set above the other. And he put Manasseh in the right hand and Ephraim in the left. Go ahead.
And Israel stretched out his right hand and laid it upon Ephraim.
And laid it upon Ephraim. So even though Manasseh was on the right side, Israel, Jacob, still went to the left side to place his right hand on Ephraim's head. All right, go ahead.
Who was the younger.
Who was the younger, right? Go ahead.
And his left hand upon Manasseh's head.
Khan, go ahead.
Guiding his hand wittingly. For Manasseh was the firstborn.
Now, we know that the firstborn is usually supposed to get the birthright, right? Supposed to get the blessing, right? But in this situation, Israel, Jacob, put his hand on Ephraim, who was the younger. All right, go ahead.
And he blessed Joseph and said, Yahweh, before whom my fathers Abraham and Isaac did walk, the God which fed me all my life along unto this day,
Right.
the angel which redeemed me from all evil, bless the lads, and let my name be named on them, and the name of my fathers Abraham and Isaac, and let them grow into a multitude in the midst of the earth.
Right. Now, we just read that we were going to be fruitful. All right, go ahead.
And when Joseph saw that his father laid his right hand upon the head of Ephraim, it displeased him.
Right, because Joseph knew that Manasseh was the firstborn. He knew that Manasseh was supposed to get the blessing, but Ephraim ended up getting the blessing. Go ahead.
And he held up his father's hand to remove it from Ephraim's head unto Manasseh's head.
Right, so Joseph was like, no. You got it wrong. You got it wrong, Pops. You need to bless this one because he is the firstborn. Go ahead.
And Joseph said unto his father, Not so, my father, for this is the firstborn.
Right, not so. This is the firstborn. I think you're making a mistake. Right, go ahead.
Put thy right hand upon his head.
Right, go ahead.
And his father refused and said, I know it, my son.
Right, so Israel knew what he was doing. Israel was very aware of giving Ephraim the blessing over Manasseh. Now, they were both blessed, but Ephraim was set above Manasseh. Go ahead.
I know it, my son, I know it.
Mm-hmm.
He also shall become a people, and he also shall be great.
Right, so he's telling him he knows. Manasseh is also going to be a great people. Go ahead.
But truly his younger brother shall be greater than he.
But truly what?
But truly is his younger brother shall be greater than he.
Right, so truly his younger brother shall be greater than he. All right, so Joseph knew, or Israel knew that Ephraim was going to be a greater nation than Manasseh. All right, so he blessed the younger over the older. All right, go ahead.
And his seed shall become a multitude of nations.
That's right, go ahead.
And he blessed them that day, saying, And thee shall Israel bless, saying, Yahweh make thee as Ephraim and as Manasseh. And he set Ephraim before Manasseh.
Right, he set Ephraim before Manasseh. Ephraim is the head tribe of the northern kingdom. All right, Ephraim is the one who led the 10 tribes over here to the Americas. All right, let's get Deuteronomy 33 and verse 13. All right, so like I said, the word Boricua, right, it was a Taino word that meant brave and noble lord. All right, Borikin means the land of brave and noble lords. All right, so we're going to get into what Hebrew word that comes from. Go ahead.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 33, verse 13. And of Joseph he said, Blessed of the Lord be his land.
Right. What do you say?
Blessed of the Lord be his land.
How do you say blessed of the Lord in Hebrew? Barak Yah. All right. It sounds a lot like Boricua. Barak Yah means blessed be the Lord. All right. Blessed be Yahweh. All right. Barak Yah. All right. Now, Boricua is actually made up of 3 Hebrew words, but I got one today, and that's Barak Yah. All right, which means blessed be the Lord. All right, go ahead and bring that back.
And of Joseph he said, Blessed of the Lord be his land.
Blessed of the Lord be his land. All right, the land of Ephraim, rich port, was called rich port because it was very high in resource, right? Very rich, a lot of gold, right? A lot of mountains. It has an Amazon, all right, that you're not just going to find anywhere. The land of Puerto Rico is a very, very rich place, all right? And that's what we just read. That, bring that back. Say that again.
Verse 13. And of Joseph he said, Blessed of the Lord be his land.
Blessed of the Lord be his land, all right? So the land of Puerto Rico, rich port, right, is a blessed land from Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right, and we just read blessed of Yahweh is Barakia. All right, that is the Hebrew word Barakia, which is very similar to Boricua. All right, which just means brave and noble Lord. All right, because that's what we are, brave and noble Lord. All right. Go ahead.
For the precious things of heaven, for the dew.
For the what?
For the dew.
Before.
For the precious things of heaven.
For the precious things of heaven, right? All these are the blessings of rich Puerto Rico, all right? Precious things of heaven. They have a Puerto Rican Amazon, right, in Puerto Rico that you're not going to find anywhere else. It's a parrot that is in Puerto Rico that is on the verge of endangerment, but you're not going to find it anywhere else. All right, go ahead.
For the dew and for the deep that couches beneath.
For the what?
Couches beneath.
For the deep that couches beneath. For the deep, all right? So for the ocean, right? When it gets dark out, there's bioluminescent plankton, right? That lights up the whole ocean floor, blue. These are blessings that Yahweh Shem Yahushai blessed the land of rich Puerto, right? Bless the land of Aparium. All right, these are blessings. Ephraim, so-called Puerto Rico, is a rich, very powerful land. It's a small island, but it's very powerful. So we just read that for the precious things of heaven, it would be blessed, right? We just read that for the deep, right, it will be blessed. And we just read that there's bioluminescent plankton. You can look that up for yourself. It's actually a very beautiful sight. All right, go ahead.
And for the precious fruits brought forth by the sun.
Right. Precious fruits brought forth by the sun. We have tropical fruits that can be grown in Puerto Rico because of the climate. All right. It has an Amazon climate. All right. Tropical climates. Go ahead.
And for the precious things put forth by the moon.
Put forth by the moon. All right. So when the moon comes out, there's an animal that comes out at night that is nowhere else on earth. All right. It's called the coqui. All right. It is a frog that sings at night, right? And it's only found in so-called Puerto Rico. All right, go ahead.
And for the chief things of the ancient mountains.
Right, for the chief things of the ancient mountains. If you ever go to Puerto Rico, they have beautiful mountains, right? You'll find yourself driving alongside of a giant mountain. All right, go ahead.
And for the precious things of the lasting hills.
Right, for the precious things of the lasting hills.
If I could.
Con.
On the coquito,
Con. Con.
If it goes anywhere else, it'll die.
Con.
But if it's there,
Con.
they tried to take those coquitos in New York, they all died.
Con.
The coquito can only exist in Puerto Rico.
Con.
It will die anywhere else.
Con. And if you brothers didn't hear that, like the brother just brought out, the coqui, right, cannot live anywhere else. It was a very put aside blessing for Puerto Rico, rich port, Aparium, all right, the tribe of Ephraim, all right, go ahead.
And for the precious things of the earth.
Precious things of the earth, tropical fruits, tropical climates, coqui, right, go ahead.
And fullness thereof.
Right, go ahead.
And for the good will of him that dwelt in the bush.
Right.
Let the blessing come upon the head of Joseph.
Right, the head of Joseph. We just read that the head of Joseph was what? Ephraim, the tribe of Aparium. He was set above Manasseh. Go ahead.
And upon the top of the head of him that was separated from his brethren.
Right, go ahead.
His glory is like the firstling of his bullock.
Right, go ahead.
And his horns are like the horns of unicorns.
Right, go ahead.
With them he shall push the people together to the ends of the earth.
Right.
And they are the 10,000s of Ephraim.
10,000s of Ephraim, go ahead.
And they are the thousands of Manasseh.
Right, so the reason why Ephraim was placed over Manasseh is because they were fruitful. There was more Ephraimites than there is Manassites, all right, on this side right now. All right, that's why Ephraim was placed above Manasseh. All right, so we read that Ephraim was a blessed land, right? And blessed of Yahweh in Hebrew is Barakia. all right, Barakyah, Barakyah, which means blessed of Yahweh, all right. So we just read that Yahweh blessed the land of rich port, Aparium, Puerto Rico, in land, in heaven, in deep, in night, in earth, right? And we just read everything that is blessed. We gave multiple things to prove through the scriptures that the Puerto Ricans are in fact the tribe of Ephraim, which further goes to prove the 12 tribes chart, which we push. We do believe firmly through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai that the 12 chart is inspired by the Most High. All right. Barakyah, if you want to look it up in the blue letter, is H1296. You can check that out for yourself. Barakyah, which means blessed of Yahweh. All right. So we read Boricua, brave and noble Lord, which is a slang what Puerto Ricans call themselves, right? Brave and noble Lord. So every time you talking to a Puerto Rican friend and he calls another Puerto Rican Boricua, he's calling him a brave and noble Lord, right? Blessed of Yahweh, Barakyah, all right? And Borikin, land of the brave and noble lords, all right, which was the name of Puerto Rico before it was named Puerto Rico. It was called Borikin, all right? So that's all I got. Lord willing, this class was edifying to the elect. Lord willing, you can gain understanding on the tribe of Aparium, Ephraim. And with that, we're going to say Shalom.
Shalom.
You got a precept?
Precept.
Come on, let's get that real quick.
This is the book of Hosea, chapter 7, verse 8.
Con. All praises. That's the spirit. I was trying to get that too. All praises. Go ahead and bring it out.
Ephraim, he have mixed himself among the people.
All praises. Ephraim have mixed himself among the people. All right. Ephraim represents also the northern kingdom. All of the northern kingdom, we have mixed ourselves among the other people, the heathen. All right, go ahead.
Ephraim is a cake not turned.
Ephraim is a cake not turned. So we do understand that the 12 tribes of Israel were melanated people, all right, before we mixed ourselves with other tribes. We are still melanated, but the northern kingdom is less melanated. We are a cake not turned. So if you have a pancake on a pan, right, and you're cooking it, and you cook it for an hour on one side, right, it's going to be real dark on one side. But on the other side, it's light. That's Ephraim. Ephraim is a cake not turned. We have some Ephraimites that look like they're from the tribe of Judah. Very dark skin, right? You have some Ephraimites that might look like an Edomite, right? But that is what happened. We have confusion of faces, right? You got another precept?
Well, that's all, man.
Anybody else got any precepts?
I don't have a precept, but I got some info on books.
Con, let's grab that.
All right, so I don't think you can hear me. So this is from the Lost Tribes of the Promised Land.
Con.
It is written by Ronald Saunders. This is page 64. And it reads, upon hearing her words, they rose and went over to Montezuma. And to utter astonishment said, Shammai, Yasharala, Alahayanawa, Ahaya Akkad.
Wow.
Which means, hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one.
Wow.
A brief conversation with them ensured in the common ancestral tongue, all right, according to Montezuma's, for fluently, it almost perpetually to the reader and the narrative of a Hebrew tongue.
Right.
Okay. This is a book that was written, right? So now check this out. Here's another one. So this is Salah. This is a book that was written in 1886. It's called The 10 Tribes of Israel. The True History, North American Indians. The Descendants of the 12 Tribes, written by Timothy Jenkins. So, Salakia, the 10 tribes. It starts off on the first page where it says the following is taken from the Apocrypha, 2nd Ezra 13, verses 40 through 45, what the brother read, right? Saying that the 10 tribes will go into a further land. So check this out. The North American Indian, the following history written by William Penn to the Committee of the Free Society, the Traders in London. He states that the origin of the American Indians, I am ready to believe them of the Jewish race. I mean the stock of the 10 tribes of Israel.
All praises.
So we also have obviously historical facts, archaeological facts that the natives and Negroes of this land are the 12 tribes of Israel.
That's very powerful. That's very powerful. We definitely bear witness with this truth, right? So ain't no Negro only lights, ain't no Ephraim only lights over here, right? We teach that the 12 tribes of Israel are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right? So today, Lord willing, that class was edifying. We learned that before you were called Puerto Rican, you were called Taino, and before you were called Taino, you were called Aparium, all right, which is the tribe of Ephraim, the son of Joseph, all right? You are from the 12 tribes of Israel. It's time to wake up and come back to your true nationality on who you are, because it was stolen from you through rape, rob, and murder, all right? Lord willing, this class was edifying, and with that, we say shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.